Call of Duty is probably one of the biggest franchises ever. And if you haven't played Call of Duty before, then what's wrong with it?
It's 2003 and a PC game called Call of Duty has just been released. It has the same engine as Quake 3 and it is a Quake 3 Arena and it is a pretty awesome game.
Such a good game, in fact, it spawned a ton of console releases. Call of Duty Finest Hour, and Call of Duty Road to Victory.
Call of Duty was a World War II shooter, much like its competitors, Battlefield, Medal of Honor and Brothers in Arms.
So guess what Call of Duty does? It makes another World War II shooter, Call of Duty 2. But this one did something great, the multiplayer.
The Call of Duty 2 Online was so good, it was challenging another game, Halo 2.
The multiplayer is remembered more than the campaign, but what came next isn't much point of remembering.
Call of Duty 3 messed everything up with a bad campaign and a bad multiplayer. It kind of soured the whole legacy.
Call of Duty just needed to change its identity, but well, and they couldn't really have done it any better, as Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was released.
Call of Duty, all the past 3 Call of Duty games have all been World War, and for them to go from a World War game to a futuristic game, bearing in mind this game was released in 2007 and was set in 2012, it must have been a massive risk.
COD 4 revolutionised shooters, and with a great online, an outstanding online, and an awesome multiplayer campaign. Why on earth would you change something so good?
After Modern Warfare 1, they got out another World War game called Call of Duty World War. It was a pretty good campaign and a pretty decent multiplayer. There's one major difference what just set the video game world on fire. Zombies.
What's happening now is Treyarch and Infinity Ward are actually taking in turns every year to release a Call of Duty. This is good business as they get a chance of 2 years to make a game and it gets released every year.
Modern Warfare 2 in 2010 absolutely perfected COD 4 with the best campaign and best multiplayer yet. What more could you ask for?
Modern Warfare 2 needed something like zombies, so they added Spec Ops, but it wasn't as good, but still really fun.
Black Ops 1 came out with a pretty boring campaign and a pretty forgettable multiplayer and a decent zombies and worse graphics in the previous game, Modern Warfare 2. But the one thing it did have was the fan base and nerds getting boners over extreme tomahawk kills on multiplayer.
Then came Modern Warfare 3, pretty much an exact clone of Modern Warfare 2, but worse in every way. Shit campaign and definitely shit multiplayer. The maps were clearly the worst bit about this game. But the main thing about it didn't make any impact at all. I can't even remember anything about the game. The only bit I remember is Makarov's death and Soap's death.
After that came the sequel to Black Ops, Black Ops 2, which in my opinion had a pretty decent campaign and a pretty decent multiplayer and a pretty sick zombies, but I know there's a lot of haters out there and it is the best selling Call of Duty and the fastest selling Call of Duty there is.
Next game, Call of Duty Ghosts. It's the first COD to not sell more than the previous COD, and I would say it's the worst COD so far. Ugh. The campaign was alright until that shitty ending. Then the maps are so fucking shit, and then the guns are bland and the onlines and the graphics aren't that good.
Forget the guard, don't forget the dogs, don't forget the dogs, Kieran, don't forget the freaking dog.
So like Harrison said, the only thing new was the dogs and beating around corners. Safeguard was pretty much just like Survival, Modern Warfare 3 and Extinction. What the fuck was that?
I liked it.
I personally didn't really have any beef with the game. It was kind of a letdown because it was the first Call of Duty on next gen. And I had way more contact to other games such as Battlefield freaking 4.
Over the years, COD has grown reputation now. It's a casual game, and if you play it, you're not a true gamer. It's kind of destroying such a good franchise. So a new company's joined, Sledgehammer Games, and they've released a new Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare. It looks fun as hell, and guess what?
It is.
Yeah.
From Black Ops 1 to Modern Warfare 3 to Black Ops 2 to Ghost, all this floppy wiener shit, and all the way up with a hardcore boner with Advanced Warfare. It is such a good game, there's so much difference in it. I mean, come on, exosuits, and everybody just rips on it. Everybody's kind of ripping on it a little bit, saying there's not much difference. The one thing I hate about Call of Duty is people moan that it doesn't change, and when it does change, people moan it's not Call of Duty anymore. What do you freaking want?
Fucking make your mind up, seriously. But at the end of the day, it's just a fun game, and I personally hope that the next Call of Duties are going to be just a good streak as Modern Warfare 1, World at War, and Modern Warfare 2.
In 1999, Bungie announced their new game, Halo, a real-time strategy game for PC and Mac.
Soon after, Microsoft had bought Bungie and renamed it Bungie Studios.